one of the better presidents. I'm not gonna say one of the greatest because he doesn't, and then not because of his part. Hey, no, not because of his party affiliation. You know. Well, why? I gave you credit. I was about to say, hold on now. We got 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 10,
Oh, please, it's not.
9,
Really?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Well, good morning and welcome to JP and Dr. B. I'll tell you what, we've got Action Jackson over there, and he is filling your radio, your phone, or your computer with a hell of a lot of musical action over there. I'll tell you what. Good
He's about
morning.
to wake us up.
Wake us up. Well, I'll tell you what, you're earning it today. That's a great piece of music he has picked for us this morning. Good morning and welcome to JP and Dr. B. It is Friday where we try to make things a little bit lighter, a little bit fun, and a little bit interesting. We definitely have some wacky, crazy news. You know, I'll tell you, it's not often you find that there are people that don't have had or have not had an accident in their life. And Dr. B, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to share a little story with you about a young man who has never had an accident in his life. And it's going to be an interesting story.
Really?
Like a car accident?
Like
Or
a
just
car,
like any
yeah, we don't
accident?
want to talk to you about car accidents.
Yeah, I'm cursed.
I think you're what, 21 and 2 and over?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not
I've
good.
been defeated.
I've been defeated.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You know, well, folks, today we've got a great show lined up for you. We have, of course, our normal wacky news. We have our corporate blunders that we're going to be discussing this morning as well. Also, really excited to introduce a couple of our new segments that we're going to be covering next week. Starting on Monday, we are going to have at 6:30 the Dallas Sports Insider. And Callie and I are going to cover your Metroplex sports, including high school, professional, and your college sports all around the Metroplex. You know, with spring training is right around the corner. If you are a baseball fan, you know that pitchers are getting ready to report to spring training, which means, Dr. B, I will be abandoning you
Oh, no.
because I'm heading out to Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Oh, for
Right.
spring training.
That's right, for spring training. Man, I'm leaving February the 18th. I'm like, oh, you can go. I'm excited. Bring the show. Let's do Comrex out there.
I was going to say, we will be doing remote, no doubt.
Remote. No, I'm ready. Let's pack it up and hit the road. I'll tell you what, JP and Dr. B on the road. But so, folks, we'll be introducing the Dallas Sports Insider, where on Mondays we will spend 30 minutes covering your local sports. Again, we'll be covering high school sports, we'll be covering college sports and professional sports, and probably right now a big chunk of that will be baseball as we're getting ready to break spring training and see what our Texas Rangers can do. Of course, you know that Jeff Bannister, the manager for the Texas Rangers, was named the American League Manager of the Year. Did everybody know that?
I did not know that.
I know now.
You know now. How exciting is that, right? So, and the Rangers had a great season when it came to recognition for Major League Baseball and all over the country because of the great things that they did. You know, of course, they had a really tough early season and really pulled it out in July and made a run for the World Series. I'll
I know
tell
most,
you what.
most people were worried.
Yeah, they were.
People were worried.
But you know what's
They pulled
funny?
through.
I'm going to tell you, I had a Lee Lowenfish moment. For those of you who don't know Lee, he's become a good friend of mine, and he is a baseball aficionado and expert out of New York. He is a well-renowned baseball author, and he and I have talked baseball quite a bit. And so when I say Lee Lowenfish moment, it means that I actually had a bright light bulb come on, and I predicted the Rangers would be where they were at. And it was funny because there were not a lot of people on my bandwagon when the Rangers season started off. And so it was nice to be able to be a good prognosticator this last year.
There you go. I remember that, and I'm hoping that your prognostication will be accurate this year.
You know, that's going to be our magic word next week, prognostication.
I can only say it one time.
You can't even spell that. I know that's like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, right? Exactly. Another gentleman who has not watched early TV.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I'll tell you what, we're going to be introducing the Dallas Sports Insider next week. That'll be Mondays from 6:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning. If you have any great, fantastic high school sports stories locally that you would like shared on the air, you can send us an email at jpandrb@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear your stories. If you have a student athlete you'd like to have recognized or like to have your school have a shout out, send us a message in and we will do a shout out for you.
Or tweet
Also,
us at JP.
or tweet us at JP and Dr. B. So that's kind of exciting too. We have a hashtag even. I mean, we're super excited. We got social media coming out of our ears. Of course, all of our social media is JP and Dr. B. Also, we're going to be introducing our political insider corner where we're going to be talking local politics. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have a March primary coming up, and there are quite a few people on the ballot in Dallas and Collin County and Tarrant County. And so we're going to be talking local politics with our political consultant, Kathy Ward. And so I'm pretty excited about that. We've also got on Tuesdays our biz tips with Deanna Kirkendall. Deanna has been the chief aide for Sam Johnson's office and did almost all that office's representation when it came to work with small businesses and CEOs here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. Her outreach with chambers of commerces, and then her current work with State Representative Scott Turner as his chief of staff. She has also really plugged into the business community and has a ton of great business tips that she will share. And just a real quick business tip. This week's business tip was pretty fantastic, I think. I can't exactly remember the quote because I've got it written down, but
It's don't accept a no from someone who doesn't have the authority to say yes.
in sales.
Very good.
There you go. Well done. And so we've got that we're rolling out as well. So we've got a lot of really new, neat things. Plus we've had our parenting series on Wednesdays that we have been talking about, and we're pretty excited about that. And then, of course, the big news for us, and it was very exciting. Dr. B, social justice is a really cool thing to do. I didn't realize it. I can't imagine what Martin Luther King felt like as he was marching and leading the streets for civil rights, because I didn't know it until we did it ourselves. I mean, I almost felt like an MLK-esque kind of moment when you and Callie and Justin marched on Landmark Apartments and into the mouth of the lion, and our attorney was able to get the residents into their apartments to get their personal belongings, their heirlooms, their family pictures, and one better than that, their animals.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that Landmark would at least not have called the SPCA or a rescue, because it was all over the internet what they were doing. And what have they rescued now? 682 animals or something like that?
I wasn't sure about the number, but I you know what? It was one of the highlight moments, I think, really. It was exciting, and seeing those people, hearing some of their stories from them personally. I talked to a couple of them, and I know Callie was out there before I was. I'm sure she did also. And they were just, frustrated and
Heartbroken.
Exactly.
You could just hear the sadness in their voice. They were like, I just want to go into my apartment and get a few of my belongings. I don't have to get everything. I know I can't get everything, but I just want to get my pets and some family heirlooms, and they're not even letting us do that.
And these,
Yeah. Well, we're gonna update you in the next segment on that deal, but and we are somewhere. I mean, it's great. I mean, the social justice continues, and so I am excited about that story. We were able to break that story. In fact, I'm going to tell you that at this point, from a local news standpoint, as far as I'm concerned, that has got to be the story of the year so far. I mean, here these folks are locked out on December 28th from their apartments. If you hadn't been listening and caught what's been going on, they reach out to the JP and Dr. B show because they can't get anybody to help them. And we start investigating. We put our on-point attorney on it. We put our on-point investigator, Callie Robinson, on it. And we start digging, and we find out real quick that this apartment complex has just decided on their own that they're going to go around and condemn buildings and tell everybody that the city of Garland had been doing it. After talking with the city of Garland, what we found out is that, they red tagged and yellow tagged apartments, which meant that they were uninhabitable. Mm-hmm. It didn't mean that the residents couldn't go in and get their things. In fact, in speaking with Detective Hawkins with the city of Garland, we find out that not only did the apartment complex have the property released back to them where it was deemed safe, from the standpoint that there were no gas leaks, no possible explosions, things like that it was done on December 28th, and the apartment complex tried to keep the city on site, and the city said, no, it's yours, it's turned over. You wanted to handle it, you can handle it. As soon as you get the fence up and your security team in here, we're leaving. They do that. The city of Garland said the residents can come in and get their things, they just can't live here. and yet that's not what they told the residents, and they kept the residents out until January the 8th.
Mhm.
These are animals with no food. These are animals with no pet owners. Their heirlooms are being looted and stolen right in front of their very eyes. And then they're told by one of the supposedly directors of security that, yeah, we know we're looting your stuff. Yeah, I know the guy walked out of his car with an empty backpack and walked back into his car with a full backpack. So it's amazing to me, Dr. B.
It is. It's just blows your mind, and people representing themselves as police officers who were not,
And Navy SEALs.
And Navy SEAls, yeah.
And
Did we
just-
ever order our badges to become Navy SEAls?
I've got mine.
No, I did not order ours. We have too much integrity for that.
Well, folks, stay tuned. We are 620 KEXB, and we are going to continue talking about all the stories we've broke this last couple weeks and all the fun, wacky news and corporate blunders. Stay tuned. Hey, Sharavius, when we're talking about this story, don't say judge, say JP, because no, you're fine. The big reason why is somebody has posted out on Facebook that they've got Belfour and Landmark on the run, scared because they got an attorney and a judge on their side. And so I want to make sure I'm careful with that. Yeah, because and the key is that though the judge is not doing this. It is JP, the reporter, the media person. That's who's doing this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I haven't put judge out there at all anywhere. Like, I haven't said this is Judge Payton and I'm on the side of justice. I haven't done that. So, well, it will be when I run for state rep.
What'd you say?
Oh, the plan is in 3 years. But I don't have any. That's just a thought. We're just thinking. That would be, wouldn't it? You guys are funny.
He's like, dream on.
Dream on.
Morning. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they have private security. They hire their own. Most of them have drivers. Most of them don't drive. No, private. They hire it themselves. Right. Now, yeah, we provide security for those folks. Which we want to. If not, we'd be going through speakers of the House. Especially with ISIS.
We're waiting for security for JP and Dr. B in Mustang County. We're needing security.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to feel secure.
I just can't even go into public anymore. I'm like bombarded.
I need a hug.
Crazy people that want my autograph and pictures, and it's outrageous. Yes. I order my food, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I recognize your voice."
Yeah, I was going to say they don't see her, but
Right,
they recognize your
recognize my
voice
voice.
instantly.
Look, who's that?
Yeah.
Who is it? Keith? Keith?
What is this?
Young boy being reunited with his dog.
Is that what that is?
Can you
Can I
hear
say-
it all?
Can I say Mexican? Or is that racist? Can I say Mexican?
No, you can say Hispanic, a Mexican Hispanic.
Because I was gonna say El Chapo, Mexican.
Hey,
drug
you
lord.
can't hear that, right, Sharavius? I wonder if you can hear it on the air. Because I'd like to play that.
Come on. I got 5 points. I got 5
Okay. I like these headphones. They're very comfortable.
So we ready to go into wacky news after we talk a little more about Garland?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, we may have Call-ins.
Now that's some fancy music, I'll tell you that. I can remember that, Dr. B. I remember walking out of school going, walk this way, talk this way. I guess I shouldn't be singing on the air, is that right?
And we just lost like 12 listeners.
12 listeners just dropped off. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Way before my time.
Way before my time, Dr. B. I don't know if we want to talk to Callie anymore. I'm going to shut her microphone off.
Not before.
We're going to shut her microphone off. Well, folks, I'll tell you what, we're JP and Dr. B. Thank you for sharing your first cup of coffee with us. And we've been talking about some of the things that we've got coming up, and also talking about the news story that we broke. And we will be following up with that. Just to give you kind of a heads up and a quick reminder, though, we have our family 4-pack giveaway to Legoland today. The magic word is plain. You want to call in at 214-787-1160.
That's 214-787-1160.
At 6:28 a.m., so that'll be on the next break. You want to call in, be the 10th caller, say the word plain, and we'll be excited to give that away. So hopefully we'll have someone calling and win that today, Dr. B.
Absolutely. It's
So-
a great opportunity for family fun.
It is, and the folks that have won them have chimed back in and said they've really enjoyed it, and they were glad that we were able to give that to them. And we want to thank Legoland out at Grapevine for all they do and what they have provided for us. They also have an adult night once a month. I encourage you to go out there and be a part of that. It is super fun. You get all their attractions, their movies, their rides, and you get to play with Legos. I mean, how much more fun is that? It's like,
That's you can't beat that.
can't beat that. Taking yourself back as a kid. You can't beat that at all. Well, folks, we've been talking about the story in Garland between Landmark, Belfour, and I think it was First Response Security, and these tenants having all their things looted right in front of them by the security team, by Belfour Construction. Their animals locked up behind these fences that they couldn't get access to. You know, one of the good stories that come out of this is that Candace found that she didn't just have one cat anymore, but she had multiple cats, because they all congregated in her bathroom when she finally got in on January the 8th, because she had cat food in there.
Yeah,
And she-
that's when they had left the bag of cat food,
yeah,
wasn't it?
left the bag of cat food out, and the cats all figured it out and congregated. And so that's at least a good story, where we at least found extra animals because they figured it out. But again, the sad news is that here these folks have gone through this. They've had all of their physical items removed. You know, a lot of them are very faith-based, and so it's been very helpful that they've turned things over to God and have followed their path with God. But it's just devastating. And then to watch your things walk out, and then to get an email from Sony telling them that, hey, by the way, someone has accessed your PlayStation 3, the one that's in the apartment you don't have access to.
Yeah, it's a funny thing how that happens, you know?
Yeah.
It just,
Funny thing. And so, you know, so folks, it's been just an unfolding story. Our attorney for On Point, Justin Nichols, and the Nichols Law Firm leads a march of tenants. You can catch those videos on JP and Dr. B at our Facebook page, also on Twitter at JP and Dr. B, and just watch how he was able to very well walk them in and get them into their apartments and start getting their things. He has now set up a meeting where the tenants are going to all meet with him, and they have filed a petition in district court filing a lawsuit against Landmark. And so we will continue to provide you with updates. Next week, you're going to want to stay tuned also for our Hero of the Week. We have a nurse who was in the middle of that tornado, who, after her windows were blown out, after a sign had flattened their vehicle, got out of the car and started giving assistance, went right into nurse mode. I mean, you talk about a hero first responder.
yeah, she was out there at 30 where the cars were flipping over and being blown off of 30 down onto the service road, and immediately jumped into action.
Jumped into action.
What a lady.
No fear.
Right.
No fear. After going through this herself, you know. And so, anyways, we're going to talk now wacky news, and there's some crazy wacky stuff. Now, Callie says that she's got both of us, and there's no way we can compare. So I got to hear her wacky news this morning.
Well, have y'all ever considered buying the clothes that criminals wear?
Buying the clothes
Clothes
that
that
criminals.
criminals-
I don't look good in orange. Action, do you look good in orange? Are you the new orange? It depends.
Well,
Ones with numbers on them.
you know, so, Yeah, I was going to say some of them are have stripes too. Now stripes are in, you know.
Yeah, so
I
okay,
don't
so
love it in stripes.
well, you've got my attention now. So what on earth are you talking about?
So you can actually buy the infamous drug lord El Chapo. You can buy his shirt, the blue and gray striped one. You know, he was photographed in it with Sean Penn. So now everyone's going out and buying this shirt at an LA shop for $128. And apparently they're flying off the shelves. They can't keep them in stock.
You're kidding me.
I'm serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
So whose enterprising thought was that? Do we know who's come up with this T-shirt selling idea?
I have no idea. I know the store's name, and that's all I know. It's Barabbas.
Well, let's not advertise.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
pay for advertising.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Che Guevara thing, except this guy's a drug lord.
Right.
And I just want for the record to say not everybody is buying it
No,
because
no.
I'm not.
I'm not buying it either. I'll tell you what, that's not.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's he's not social justice. He's a drug lord.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So, Dr. B, what kind of wacky news have you come across?
Well, I just found this really funny. A New York policeman who has been talking about the hoverboards, you know, that were the big rage.
Yeah.
And he said that they need to be outlawed because he said people in New York have enough trouble walking down the street, let alone on a hoverboard. And I just found that extremely amusing. And along with that, it said that federal regulators are looking into the safety of the products, and at least one discount retailer, Overstock.com, has stopped selling hoverboards. And this one really cracked me up. I'd love to have been it. Mike Tyson tried one out, landed on his back, and a Catholic priest in the Philippines got in hot water for using one during evening mass.
Well, he was being elevated by God.
I guess.
That's something else.
Said that was wrong, the Diocese of San Pablo said in a statement, even though the priest did manage to stay upright most of the time.
So why did he get criticized? I mean, what's wrong with floating around on a hoverboard?
Well, I don't know. I guess it was more distracting. You know, supposedly we go to the cathedral to worship.
Well, maybe he was able to bless more people that way.
Well, maybe.
He could have been fat. Maybe he was going up and down the aisle blessing people.
Of course, maybe that was the scary thing,
I
too.
guess that could be.
Those
But
things are hard to like stay up on. Have y'all tried them?
I have not.
They're super hard. My cousin bought one, and they're super hard. You have to have amazing balance, and I do not have that. So of course I get on, and I have people on each arm trying to hold me up, and I'm so uncoordinated.
You know, I bet the
It
key
was
to that
funny.
thing is keeping it moving forward, though,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's how you kind of stay balanced, wouldn't
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah, I would think so.
So is this like the Michael J. Fox hoverboard kind of thing from Back to the Future?
It kind of is, except you're not actually hovering. There's wheels, but it looks like you're hovering, and it kind of feels like it too. But there are
Oh,
wheels on it that touch the ground.
I need suspended space in between. What
You
is this?
feel very not in control.
Ah,
Because there's no, like, you know how the scooters, like the Razor scooters,
right.
Mhm.
those have the handles that you hold on to, and you can control them. These you have no control over.
Well, pretty
there's
soon we're going to
nothing
see
to hold
people
on to.
driving them down the road.
Yeah, it would be like the Segway.
Yeah.
You know, is you have that handle you hold on to, and
Yeah.
they're kind of fun.
They're
They
like
are
a
kinda funny.
Segway with no handles.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
what scares me, because there's nothing to hold on
Here,
to.
I've got one for you.
All right.
Who do you think is, or how old do you think is the oldest driver in Britain?
105.
105.
Wow, that's higher.
Driver.
Than I
This
thought.
guy's a
It's a
driver. He's
driver.
driving. And of
No,
course, he's a
I was
man,
thinking- I was
too.
thinking about 98.
70. Did I just offend our female market out there?
I was thinking about 98 or so.
98. Okay, 103 years
I
old.
win.
Ooh, you
103
win.
years old. Former ice cream seller. So I think, Henry Gentry, we're going to have homemade ice cream next Thursday. Come on and talk. Henry's homemade ice cream. So, and he says ice cream makes you pretty, so it may make you live longer too. Former ice cream seller and milkman. Aged 103, is believed to be Britain's oldest driver. Giovanni Rozzo has been driving for more than 8 decades and said he has no intention of hanging up his car keys. The grandfather of 4 from Cambridge has only ever had 2 speeding fines, 1 parking ticket, and has never, you ready for this? Has never had an accident during his motoring career.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
And he lives in a country where accidents are way prevalent. I mean, the London area is horrible. It's like New York City driving. And people are in car accidents all the time, and he has never had an accident in 80 years.
I'm
That's
5 years in.
amazing.
I'm 5 years into driving, and I've already had 2.
Yeah,
That's
we're not going to
so
put. We don't want that record. Don't
Yeah.
don't be the person that gets the most accidents.
Don't be a Callie.
Don't be a
Don't
Callie.
be Callie.
Be careful. When? Here.
To work.
Oh.
to the-
Oh.
Well, why were you getting tickets heading to the airport? There you go. Well, folks, get ready. It is 6:26 right now, about to be 6:27. We have our family 4-pack giveaway to Legoland. You're going to call in at 214-787-1160.
214-787-1160.
And the magic word,
Plane.
so get ready, get your phones up, get your dials ready to go. Be the 10th caller and call in and get this wonderful 4-pack from Legoland. And again, we want to thank Legoland Grapevine for all they do in helping us help our families have a little free weekend out at Grapevine Mills. So get your phones up, start calling. The magic word is plane. One more time, 214-787-1160.
214-787-1160.
We'll be right back. We're KEXB 620 AM. Well, hopefully folks will call. All right. So when we come back, we'll continue to talk about wacky news. Do you have more wacky news or no?
I'm looking at one now. I'm still reading on it.
Dr. B, do you have one?
Yeah. Well, there are a couple of them that we can talk about. One is that, did you see it was on the news, the brothers that were having a fight, and one jumped on the hood of the car, so the other brother ran into a police car to get him off.
What?
Now that's fun.
Did you see that? I was trying to find the answer to this.
Anybody calling yet? We had 10 callers already? Okay, but are people still ringing? Just one. Who called? Jake or Jeff? You want to find that out? We are the radio show of proximity.
Well, we can just answer and be like, "Hey, who are you? Where
Did
are
you have
from?"
Jake call in this
No,
morning?
he's sleeping. Are you kidding? He doesn't get in till after 12.
I didn't text anybody named Jake to call in.
Jeff?
Is it Jeff Gasaway?
I think that when we have them,
All right, woohoo! Midway, Texas is on the phone.
when they call, we should ask who they are so that we act like we don't know them. So that we act like,
Hey, tell Jeff to act like he doesn't know us. Yeah, but he may say, John, you know who it is, like the teacher from Williams. Even though I was shocked he called in, but he's like, John, you know me forever. Okay, thanks, Gary.
like you texted me to call in.
Actually, I didn't. No, he called in unsolicited.
Oh, good.
He was a new listener. Rescue bears chase after food truck. I
What
wonder if we
website
can-
are y'all looking at? Because I can't find any.
I'm on
having
the,
hard
uh,
time.
I'm on board. Like
I'm
these
on
are
the
boring.
telegraph.com, telegraph.co.uk.
What are you googling?
I just put in weird, wacky news, things in the news. That phone is ringing.
Yeah, it is. And they already told Jeff that he won.
That's all right. Are you answering the phone?
Yeah, he is. Have post.
Skip ad. It's just not loud enough. I wonder if it's just my laptop. Let's do weather. You gonna be ready with weather?
Yeah.
Okay. And we need the weekend weather. Carry us through the weekend. Carry us through the weekend. Like Sunday, they're saying snow and
Rain.
yeah. So let's send people out to the grocery stores to get their provisions. What? That is one hot voice. I've got to date this
stop.
woman.
That's disgusting.
That's disgusting. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not ready for the weekend.
That's disgusting. Well, we can put you off for one more segment. Well, I tell you what, a little bit of Alabama going on there. You know what, Action Jackson, I might keep you around. That's, yeah, way to go to the weekend. I'll tell you what. Well, folks, welcome back. Good morning. This is JP and Dr. B and Callie, and we are super excited about Fridays. We love Fridays. We just sit and kind of have a conversation about what's going on out there in the news, what we've got coming up, and all the exciting things that that we have to share with you on corporate blunders. And so we also like to give away free stuff, and we are giving away a family 4-pack for free, and I think we have a winner on the line. Who do we have on the air this morning? Hey, good
Hi,
morning, Jeff. How
Good
are
morning,
you?
Jeff?
Good.
Doing good.
Well, let's be honest. We haven't drank a full cup of coffee yet. We're kind of tired. And it's
Yes,
Friday. Well,
TGIF.
now, do you listen to our show? Well, that's fantastic. Where are you at, Jeff? Wow.
Waco.
Hey, fantastic.
All right.
Go Baylor Bears. What happened to the Bears this year? Did really well, actually. I agree with you. I tell you what, to be able to survive losing as many players as you guys lost down there and to be as successful as you were, that's hats off to your head coach down there, huh? Well, do you have any kids that you'll be able to take to Legoland with you? Well, my God, you have a good time out there. If you get a chance, say hi to our friend Amy Castro out there. She is the marketing director for Legoland, and she is just a bundle of fun, and you'll really enjoy her. Or Amy Estrada, pardon me, not Castro, Amy Estrada. And thanks for calling in, Jeff, and thanks for listening. Artwork, that's right.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
Mini-land.
That's right. Our gingerbread houses are there.
Yep, it's in the cityscape part of Legoland. We actually had a
Super cool.
gingerbread build-off. Well, thank you so much. You have a great day, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, another family 4-pack flies off the shelf. Again, we'd like to thank Legoland of Grapevine for providing us with these family 4-packs to provide our families with an opportunity to get out with their kids and have a good time. And it really is a good time. Again, we want to thank Amy and all of her staff over at Legoland. We went out there for adult night. They have adult night once a month. You can find it on their website. You can go to our website at jpanddrb.com, and you can find all their information there as well. But Legoland is just fantastic, and we would encourage folks to go out there and have a good family time, you know? Clean fun. You're not going to find any naked people on TV, and you're not going to find any alcohol or tobacco being smoked or drank, which is kind of nice, you know? It's kind of a clean, fun atmosphere for your kids.
It's a good opportunity for a family outing that is wholesome and good.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you again, Legoland. You know, continuing with our funny news and wacky news. Now, Dr. B, you've got a pretty good one.
Well, it was on the news the other night, and I just found it amusing. Perhaps some of our listeners saw it also, but two brothers were having an argument, and they didn't say what the argument was about, but one of them got in his car and was leaving, and the other brother jumps on the hood of the car. And so the brother who's driving the car drives it down to where a police officer is, his squad car, and he runs into the police car in order to get his brother off the windshield.
But of course,
I mean, you know,
Why not?
what other way would you go?
Partner
Oh,
in
yeah,
crime.
partner in crime.
What would that fall under? The dumbest criminals thing
Yeah.
or something?
Among them, for sure.
I
For
love
sure.
dumb criminal stories.
You love them.
Of all the things to run into, a cop car, like
Yeah.
not a tree, not another car.
Well, I'm
but
sure
a cop car.
intentionally too.
Yeah, he did it intentionally. I mean, it's just.
That is funny.
So they need a little conflict resolution. Come to New Directions Counseling and Education Center, and we can help you with some
Absolutely.
conflict resolution.
Well, folks, I've got one that's pretty good. Today, and this is actual news from the Telegraph, Major Tim Peake will be the first Brit to do a spacewalk.
Huh.
Isn't that pretty cool?
That's cool.
That's way cool. So we're going to have a Brit up there doing some spacewalking. He's going to be helping on the International Space Station to get some things repaired. What do you think he thought was one of the more important things to pack and take with him?
Britain toothbrush?
He's exactly right. Did you see the same
No,
thing I
I
saw? Yeah, you got it right. His toothbrush. And so he is going to be up there brushing his teeth while he's in space because he thought it was important to carry his toothbrush
There's
with him.
always jokes about Britain and their teeth.
And bad teeth?
Yeah.
Well, Austin Powers didn't help that very much.
No, he didn't. Another thing that I like that I think is funny is when sayings from kids, and a mother wrote in a couple of these that I wanted to share with you. She's talked about her kids, and one of her kids said to her, "I'm not saying you're a bad cook, Mom, or anything, but you're supposed to chop up the scrambled eggs."
She didn't cook them with the shells on, did she?
Well, I don't know, but this and this one I love too. She said she dropped her son off at school, and he hopped out of the car. He turned around to say what she thought would be "See you later." Instead, with a huge smile on his face, he waved and said, "I hope you don't die."
That's terrible, Dr. B. Oh my goodness, what is going on in the world? That is just horrible. Well, Callie, you were over there researching some wacky
Yeah.
news. What'd you come up
Well, I'm
with?
going to stay overseas. There's a mom in Amsterdam who apparently has a son who doesn't, quote, want to cuddle with her anymore. So she decided to knit a life-size version of her son. Now, I'm going to show you this picture and tell me it's not creepy, okay? Look at this. That is super
Yeah.
creepy. I'm going to tweet a picture of it here in a second.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
way
super
weird.
Creepy. If you look at it from a distance, it looks real. And then you pull it up bigger and it's like, holy moly. It looks like a kid, but when you zoom it in, you can see that it's knitted. Like it's yarn, and it's super weird.
Wow. So,
That-
folks, catch that on our Twitter page. We're gonna
Borderline
tweet that here in
crazy.
just a second at JP and Dr. B, and that again is at JP and Dr. B. I've been told we have a hashtag.
A handle.
Oh, a handle. That's
handle.
right. Pardon me.
That's
You're
right.
right. I stand corrected again. I'll tell you what. I'm really good at this Twitter thing, Dr. B. Oh, is it twit? So you're calling me a twit? That Christmas bonus just evaporated. I want to let you know. Well, folks, I've got one for you. If you ever want to have your adrenaline begin to rush, why don't you drive a food truck around 9 hungry bears? And that's what they did in India. But these bears were in a sanctuary. These are sloth bears that had been used in the streets to perform. And so the food delivery truck had delivered their food, and they figured out, hey, you know what? We're going to follow them because that's where the food came from. And there are 9 bears running after them through the sanctuary in the truck. Of course, the bad news would be if the truck broke down
Yeah.
and then the door came off. That's a bad day. You'd have 9 hungry bears.
Not a good time.
So if you get a chance, go to the Telegraph website, which is the newspaper in London, and you can catch a picture and a video. The drivers who are in the delivery food truck took a video of this, and it's hilarious to watch these 9 bears. Of course, they are adorable until they get on you, and then they're not quite as adorable. But
No,
yeah, it is a picture to behold. I'll tell you, Dr. B.
Yeah. Well, so much of the news is on the videos, So, isn't it amazing how much information we can gather on very quickly on the internet and silly things that happen, and some of them sometimes I wish we were on television or had the ability to show these because they're just too funny, So,
Yeah. Oh, this is a crazy one. I don't know if you've got another one, Dr. B.
I
but-
don't have one right
Oh,
yet.
I do. This is hilarious. If you ever want to see a bird make a fool out of itself, and of course this again is in London, take your French fries. Of course they don't call them French fries. Anybody know what they call them in London?
Chips.
Fish and chips. Yeah, if you ever want to give them a hard time, put French fries on your dash and sit by where there's a bird sanctuary.
Oh.
Yeah, these drivers, they put chips inside their dash, and these seagulls landed on the car, and were trying to eat the chips through the windshield. Now, of course, that brings back bad memories of the movie Birds.
Mm-hmm.
Alfred Hitchcock, right?
Where's PETA when we need
Yeah,
him?
where's
Yeah.
Pete? I'll tell you what. But yeah, so seagulls trick people, or are tricked by hiding chips behind the car windshield. You got to catch the video on this one too. It's hilarious. These poor birds think they're going to actually get fish and chips.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
that's pretty amazing. I always
That's
feel
pretty
bad
amazing.
when I've been in a building and a bird flies into the window. I always felt bad about that. But to do it on purpose is, well, that's another level altogether, I guess.
Well, that's a different level. I mean, I tell you something else. What people will do to humor themselves is kind of the comment on that. Of course, there's also another thing going on in Britain. I guess this is kind of British wacky news today.
Yeah.
I guess they have found. Are you ready for this, Dr. B?
Okay.
Researchers claim that gap between happier nations and those with the least well-being could be down to chemicals in the brain.
Okay.
Now, have you
I
ever
can-
heard of that?
Yeah, I can almost believe that.
You can almost
T-
believe
almost
that.
t-
Almost believe that.
Talk to me.
Talk to you. Well, let me tell you, what they've done is researchers have claimed that the gap between happier nations and those with the least well-being could be down to the location in the world, not factors like health or wealth. The so-called happiness gene. They feel they have isolated the happiness gene, Dr. B.
All right.
And so the happiest gene has been found to be more common in residents of those countries that top surveys of international well-being. Michael Minkov, a professor of cross-cultural awareness at Varna University of Management in Bulgaria, sought to correlate measures of contentness with common genetic variances. And he found it. So we have isolated the happy gene.
Well, we need to increase that happiness gene and spread it around.
Well, I tell you what, when I have Friday NTTA Day, we need to hand that happy gene out.
There you
Because I've got
go.
some very unhappy people that walk into the courtroom for sure. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have your Metroplex weather for the weekend. You might want to bundle up on Sunday for sure, because we're showing a cold kind of Sunday coming your direction. Also, we're going to talk corporate blunders when we come back. So stay tuned. We are KEXB 620 AM. The happiness gene. All right, let's shift to corporate blunders now. Okay,
All right. Good.
feel free to pipe in. All right, let's see here.
I'm trying to find mine. I put some on last night.
I think I did traffic better than that guy. I think Callie did traffic better than that guy. I think they should hire Callie.
I think so too.
I don't understand why my cursor. You know what? This thing has actually got my finger will work.
It's got what?
This is one of those touch screens, and
Oh,
I keep
yeah.
forgetting that. All right. Corporate blunders. Let's see what we've got here. Sony Picture Studios. Let's see. Sony hacks. When the Guardians of Peace hacked into Sony Pictures in November 2014 and demanded the cancellation of the interview, Sony was in a semi-sympathetic position from a public point of view. But then hackers began leaking sensitive emails where executives mocked talent and made insensitive comments. And Sony eventually appeared to buckle to the threats, canceling the movie's release, citing theater owner concerns, and reversing that decision amidst even wider criticism, including from President Obama. It was long before it went from victim to stooge. Be careful what you put in an email. Today's hack-intense society. What you can say can always come back to bite you. A lesson learned by Amy Pascal, who was forced to step down as co-chairman of Sony Pictures after her emails were made public. Well, that's interesting.
I've read that one. That's. If I can find it.
Do you want to run with that one?
No, go with it because I can't find it yet.
Okay. Generally, the news agencies will have these. Like I'm on CNBC's corporate blunder site. Did you say hello to the folks, Callie?
I did.
Did you say good morning? Did you intro the show?
No, I didn't.
Good morning,
Morning,
everybody.
it's Friday.
Yes.
It's exciting Friday. Woohoo! Big weekend ahead. Going to go out and support the disaster relief out in eastern Collin County. Come join us if you'd like. So I'm excited about sports next week.
Good.
Are you preparing this weekend?
I am preparing.
All right, man. I'm excited. We're going to do a lot of Rangers baseball. So I'm going to catch everybody up on Rangers baseball. Do we want to talk Cowboys at all?
So are you not going to have Brian in?
I'm thinking about moving him over to Tuesday for now. Because Tuesday's kind of a potpourri kind of day. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
What do you think about doing that political insider deal?
I don't have a problem with that. If we can get that.
Like a little 5-minute deal, you know? I figure we do it like on Fridays. Ever call in on Fridays, give us a little 5-minute update maybe, and then
Again, how will that play in with what we can and cannot do?
we can have political analysts on. We just
Okay.
can't. We just can't run political campaign ads, is what I'm told. So. Is that Tina? Boy, that is. I like this song. I tell you what, I can remember this song when I wore my go-go boots and my polyester bell-bottoms. My go-go boots.
No. I didn't grow up in the 70s. I don't know half the stuff that y'all talk about.
No, neither did I. I'm just culturally aware.
There you
Oh, did I just go there with that? I think.
You were
Oh,
born in the 70s, though.
yeah, but I didn't. But I wasn't old enough to know what go-go boots were. That's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, this is JP and Dr. B, and welcome back, and we are talking corporate blunders now. And Sony Pictures, I'm going to start us off, folks, with Sony Pictures getting hacked in November of 2014. The Guardians of Peace hacked into Sony Pictures in November and demanded the cancellation of the movie The Interview. Do all of you remember that hitting the
I
news?
remember, yep.
And what a disaster that became for the co-chairman of Sony. I mean, it was, of course I watched it. I thought it was hilarious. Now, I'm not a big fan of some of the actors in that movie,
that's
but
why I didn't watch it.
I watched it, though, because I was curious to see why it was so horrible that North Korea couldn't be portrayed that way. Of course.
If you watch the movie, support it.
So Sony, they become sympathetic to a public point of view, and they decide they're going to pull the movie. Well, that wasn't the best part. The best part was they got hacked, and their emails were shut down for multiple days. Sony had no backup system. And so their employees could not access their emails for several days. And then the co-chairman, Amy Pascal, she gets hacked, and emails are released showing that she is actually criticizing and making fun of some of the actors and some of the other people in the industry. And she was forced to step down as co-chairman of Sony Pictures after her emails were made public. So, what's the lesson learned on this? First of all, have better security so people can't hack into you.
Right.
Be careful what you put in an email, folks, because if you're not careful, it may cost you your job. And that's cost a lot of people their jobs over the years, including what's on social media. And then lastly, if you're a big company like that, or even a small company, make sure your network's security gives access to your employees even if you get hacked. I think that's some pretty good information on there.
I think so. You know, another one that happened, and it's been a couple of years ago now, but the Apple Maps, remember the increased tension between Google Maps and Apple, that Apple decided they were going to release their own maps. And so anyway, the problem is Apple's mapping system wasn't nearly as good as Google's. Locations were mislabeled and some roads weren't even shown. And it occasionally steered people in the entirely wrong direction. The problem was eventually largely resolved, but it was an embarrassing misstep for a company known for never launching a product before it's perfect.
Yeah, isn't
So-
that the truth?
The lesson learned there is never release a product that's half-baked, no matter how desperately you want to get it to the market.
Boy, isn't that the truth? I'll tell you what. Well, folks, let's go ahead and let's run quickly to weather, because I think we're going to have an interesting weekend of forecast. So, Callie, what is our on-point weather?
Well, today's mild in DFW. At 7 a.m. you're looking at 48 degrees. At noon, 60 degrees, and at bedtime, 49 degrees. Sunny all day with a 0% chance of rain. Saturday morning will be 42 degrees. That'll feel 32 degrees, so bundle up. Rainy with a 70% chance of showers all day. Later is colder at 38 degrees. Sunday will warm up to 54 degrees and 54 degrees for the high and sunny. I'm Callie. Your On Point Weather is sponsored by Krispy Kreme and Allen.
Now, I thought we were supposed to have some snow and mixed rain
They were
on
saying,
Sundays.
yeah, no, Saturday they were saying, Saturday we were supposed to get rain and snow, but now they've taken the snow out and it's just going to be showers.
Just showers. Well, I saw on the Weather Channel.
Right?
Yes. And now, of course, unless you want to come out and do some good for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, silence. Yeah, love
Silence.
that radio silence. Yeah, folks, we didn't go to radio silence on that. Well, folks, I'll tell you what, welcome back to Corporate Blunders. This is JP and Dr. B carrying you into your weekend. Toys R Us, Dr. B, made a
Toys R Us.
huge mistake, and this was a big one. This wasn't a little one. October 2014, the giant toy retailer was forced to pull from its shelves 4 collectible dolls based on the characters from the AMC hit show Breaking Bad. Oh God, yeah, this is no Taco Bueno for kids' toys
No.
though. So yeah, not good at all. Which centers around Walter White, a high school chemistry teacher turned crystal meth dealer who goes into business with a former student. This is exciting. These are action figures that need to be at Toys R Us. Each of the dolls had a detachable sack. You're gonna love this. A detachable sack of cash and a bag of meth.
No.
Yes, absolutely. This sudden scramble came after a shocked Florida man named Susan Shriver, or mom, not man, pardon me, saw the dolls and within days launched a petition on change.org against Toys R Us. The petition yielded 9,000 signatures supporting her argument that a show celebrating the drug trade is unsuitable to be sold alongside Barbie dolls and Disney characters. Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston reports, who plays Walter White on the show, responded to the controversy tweeting, "I'm so mad I am burning my Florida Mom action figure in protest." Yeah, but
I didn't watch
how
that.
on earth can you justify putting a toy on the shelf where they've got a bag of
of
cash and a bag of meth?
Whose idea was like this? Seems like a good.
And then the
idea.
actor is upset about it. Great marketing for what? Methamphetamines?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Kate.
candy.
No. It specifically says methamphetamines. I don't understand how the actor can defend that, but that's pretty crazy. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Not
No.
lately.
Lately.
No. Man, Blockbuster is rolling
Yeah.
right now.
Blockbuster. Where is that?
Block who?
Who?
Yeah, block who I think is better than
Oh,
that.
y'all are just not culturally.
Yeah.
Right.
Perot, you
Perot?
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. we know that old Ross Perot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't think that anymore, does he? Now, Dr. B, what do you got over there?
Well, I've got Lululemon. I guess that's the way it sounds. It says everybody sticks their foot in their mouth from time to time, but few have done so as prominently as Chip Wilson, founder of the yoga apparel company Lululemon. On Bloomberg Television in 2013, he addressed a recall of the company's signature yoga pants, which were too sheer, saying, quote, "Frankly, some women's bodies
Yeah.
just don't actually work for the pants."
Yes.
It's
yeah, that's not a good day.
I learned about
No.
this in college. Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it's real. This
It's
is
about
a real thing.
the rubbing through the thighs and how much pressure is there.
No, you did
Yeah.
not just say that on the air. Hey, can we say
This
that?
is true. This is
That's
true.
That's the quote.
Yeah,
A winner.
Dr. B gets the bell ringer on that one.
It said that set off a firestorm of controversy, and his seemingly half-hearted apology on the company's Facebook page did nothing to assuage the outraged customers. He eventually stepped down as chairman of the company's board. Sales have since rebounded. And the lesson learned, think before you speak, especially in public. And if you mess up, offer a sincere, heartfelt apology, but be sure to bounce it off someone before you issue it publicly to see if it hits the mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Well, folks, last one before we go and we send you off to your weekend. First of all, stay tuned for Brian Glenn and the DFW Business Authority. He'll be on at 7 o'clock. But J.C. Penney, they thought they had this thing whooped. Ron Johnson, who became the CEO, who had made the Apple Store a corporate model of success, implemented a plan in early 2012. He said, we're going to, instead of running sales, we're just going to make everything on sale all the time and give deep discounts. Well, that didn't work out so well. J.C. Penney's, you ready for this, dropped 19% in sales and then just under 28% in their internet sales because people didn't have the sense of urgency to shop. Lesson learned, some habits are so deeply ingrained that you won't be able to change people's habits, even if the alternative you offer is actually a better deal. So, folks, this is JP and Dr. B and Callie, and we love coming to you every morning, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Stay tuned. Also tomorrow on the Sports Angel, we're going to be talking live with the Sports Angel, live from the site out in Eastern Collin County, and give you an update on what's going on with disaster relief and tornado cleanup. And don't forget to stay tuned for her sports show, as it is one fabulous hour of sports. We're going to be talking baseball tomorrow. Stay tuned for Brian Glenn here on the DFW Business Authority. Dr. B, you have a great weekend. Callie, have a great
Have a
weekend.
good weekend.
JP and Kelly, have a great weekend. All of our listeners, have a great weekend.
And safe. Be
Goodbye.
safe. Oh, I said be safe.
On BC.
Good show, folks.